What's up, Taiwan? I'm Yvonne Yang with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan's extending the length of its mandatory military service to a year and more than tripling conscripts' pay. But the country's defense ministry says the new salary won't be available from day one. Stretch Butler reports.
Taiwanese conscripts training hard, but for little financial reward. Right now, they get just $210 a month. In 2024, that will rise to $660, but the Defense Ministry says that's only from 8 weeks after enlisting.
他入伍集训之后，他取得了一个专长的证书，他变成说可以领那个专业加级是10190元，所以是他结训拿到证书合格证书下部队之后，他所领的才是20320元，这是有阶段性的一个领跟条件性的一个发给的方式。
The pay deal is one of several details to emerge on Thursday about Taiwan's plan to extend conscription to a year. When President Tsai announced the change in December, the ministry said conscripts would get training with these top-of-the-line Javelin anti-tank missiles. That raised some eyebrows among experts who say equipment like Javelins and Stinger missiles are too expensive for new recruits to use.
It does not make sense at all to train a conscript to fire a Stinger that's worth tens of thousands of US dollars, and only for him to be discharged in 6 months' time.
But the ministry has refuted those concerns and says its plan is sound.
那标枪飞弹概率要实施4周的训练，那同样的，他的部队里面会持续用模拟器的方式来增加他的一个训练的强度。那最后要做实弹射击化，我们会结合年度的武器射击的流程来做一个射击的训练。
The plans for longer conscription come as Taiwan faces off an increasingly aggressive China. Beijing claims Taiwan as its own and has not ruled out taking the island nation by force. Taipei officials hope more rigorous military training can ward off potential threats and better serve Taiwan's defense. Damon Lin and Stash Butler for TaiwanPlus.
President Tsai on Friday visited a combat infantry unit and members of the Air Force in the southwest county of Tsai. Simulating the defense of an airport, the troops practiced rapid deployment to attack and secure targets together with an unmanned aerial vehicle. The single-rotor drone developed by Taiwan's National Zhongshan Institute of Science and Technology and unveiled late last year took part in drills for the first time. It comes just a week after Taiwan announced it would lengthen mandatory military service from 4 months to 1 year starting in 2024, part of new national defense measures designed to meet the increasing threat posed by China. During the visit, Tsai laid out expectations for the new training.
国军的训练会更精实、更贴近实战，也会更符合现代作战的需求。因此，包括无人机在内的新式武器。 未来入伍的义务役依照任务的需求也会接受训练，符合现代作战的需求。
The United States Navy says one of its guided missile destroyers passed through the Taiwan Strait on Thursday. Images show the USS Jong-hoon conducting what the U.S. says is a routine transit. It's the first passage by a U.S. Navy ship through the strait this year. The U.S. 7th Fleet said the ship was operating outside of any state's territorial waters. This comes after China claimed last year that it had jurisdiction over the Taiwan Strait. In 2022, the U.S. Navy conducted roughly 10 transits through the Taiwan Strait. Don't test the law when it comes to bringing pork into Taiwan. That's the message from the government as the country gears up for the Lunar New Year travel season. Taiwan has a list of areas considered high risk for African swine fever. Anyone bring banned products into the country from these places could face a fine up to $6,500 US. This includes people who buy items online and have them shipped to Taiwan. Last year, the government fined 169 people the maximum amount. One of the biggest convenience store chains in Taiwan is joining the program that will help people with Down syndrome when they go to the shop. It's the latest in a string of businesses working to make shopping an easier and more friendly experiences for the tens of thousands of Taiwanese people who have Down syndrome. John Ventrias has the story.
Convenience store chain Family Mart has more than 4,000 locations in Taiwan, and come February, each one will be certified as Down syndrome friendly. Since last year, Taiwan's Down Syndrome Foundation has been giving resources to businesses like this. That way they can train staff on how to help customers with Down syndrome do their shopping. Already, 3 other chains have put this training into practice. They get stickers to put in their shop windows that let shoppers with Down syndrome know they offer a safe and friendly space. The program's launch amid the COVID-19 pandemic is no accident. Taiwan still mandates masks indoors. This can make it difficult to recognize people with Down syndrome, and so staff might not know a customer has special needs. This has led to at least one misunderstanding. In November, the owner of a fried chicken shop called the police on a customer with Down syndrome who had forgotten to bring money. With the right support, people with Down syndrome can shop without problem.
不可以这样子，要后来给钱拿去才对。
But accidents happen, and the program is meant to offer people with Down syndrome help when problems do arise. One frequent issue is communication. That's why the program trains shop staff to slow down and listen.
因为碰到问题，所以他们不知道怎么处理，暂停了3秒，然后再听他下一句他要表达什么东西，其实你就应该可以判断他是需要你帮忙。
If that doesn't help, staff are encouraged to call one of the customer's relatives or the Down Syndrome Foundation itself. There are 30,000 people with Down syndrome in Taiwan, and with a growing number of businesses taking part in the program, the hope is that they can expect the same respect and courtesy as every other customer. Klein Wang and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
Earlier this week, Greenpeace and other civic groups took to the streets in Taiwan to demonstrate against government regulations on major electricity consumers. They say these rules are not enough to lessen the environmental impact of some of Taiwan's biggest companies. Sally Jensen has more.
Protesting outside the Ministry of Economic Affairs on Wednesday, the message Greenpeace and other groups had for the government was loud and clear. That the authorities need to do more to make sure the country's biggest electricity-consuming companies rely increasingly on renewable energy.
上路2年，只有1%的光电被盖出来，那这代表什么？这代表说这条款完全没有用啊。
Taiwan's major corporations, as well as its petrochemical and steel industries, use around 35% of the country's total electricity. Government regulations require more than 500 of the country's biggest electricity consumers to use green sources for about 10% of their energy needs by 2025. But Greenpeace and other climate groups say this is nowhere near good enough. They say the figure needs to be at least over 20% for any serious improvements to happen.
我们认为呢，台湾如果要走向2050净零排放，好，还有一个高程度的能源转型的话，这些用电大户的投入是必然需要的，但是现在的法规并没有办法满足这一点。
The Economics Ministry says that it is listening to the concerns being raised by the groups.
因为我们今年要开始做这个2年的检讨，那这个团体的建议我们会纳入检讨的方案里面。
But activists say they still want to see concrete actions.
但是我们现在可以看，从现在的政策可以看到，台湾的再生能源发展是非常非常缓慢的。那它缓慢的一个很大原因，是因为我们的企业跟工业用户并没有加入这个发电的行业，因为他们没有足够的义务，所以唯有这些大户加入一起帮台湾改善这个能源转型的问题，那我们台湾才有可能会成功。
Taiwan's industrial giants are used to consuming the lion's share of the country's electrical power. But activists say the clock is ticking, and now is the time for these companies to accept their climate responsibilities. Andy Xue and Sally Jensen for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally today, we leave you with images of Elvis Presley fans at an annual Elvis Festival in Australia. I'm Yvonne, thank you very much and see you next time.